All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you find yourself. I hope everybody is doing well. Today is Wednesday, 2025. All right. So let's start with the dollar index as usual. So on the daily time frame, I'm sorry, on the H4, we had this rejection yesterday, and I think nothing has really changed since yesterday because when we were having our session yesterday, this is where we were, and I said that I would like to see them actually trade for this equal low. That is still the case. That is still the case, and I'm looking forward for this down candle, this up candle, and this fair value gap to reject price and then start coming back down. All right, so today that's what I'm looking for. Now it can change, of course, because that's price for you. Price can do whatever it wants. So it can go up and break this and continue going up. However, that is not what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for the rejection to attack this low and then that low and then potentially this. Okay, so let's see this New York session if that will be the case for us. If that happens, then euro you'll be looking for a move to the upside. Now, ultimately, I think this fair value gap on a daily, that's what price is gonna trade to. But I wanted them to trade a little bit higher before doing that because since the start of the week we went down, and yesterday we had this big run up, and then we came back down in the form of a pullback. Now, with that pullback, I didn't want to see them trade through this gap. Right, I wanted them to hold so this high to this low, that gap, and then we go back up again. But it seems like it's not doing that now. That's a little bit suspicious to me, simply because if we were to go back up, then we should be respecting this. We should be respecting that, but you can see they've traded through it. So as it stands, maybe there will be more weakness on the euro pairs and the pound pairs. Just so you know, the pound pairs will also have some weakness. So I will look for maybe instead of the dollar index respecting this, it might go one more time above it and then reject. That is a possibility, right? I would rather it doesn't, but looking at how euro and pound is shaped, it's more showing the likelihood of the dollar index going one more time up before maybe a rejection can take place, or even no rejection at all. Right, so let's see this New York session what they're going to do right here. Now maybe in future I'll talk about it, or should I talk about it today? Because what I'm seeing right now is that the Australian dollar is showing more strength than the pound, so and euro. So euro, Aussie, pound Aussie, euro New Zealand, and pound New Zealand. They are likely going to give us a continuation to the downside, especially the New Zealand pairs, which euro New Zealand is likely going to come for sorry, pound New Zealand is likely going to come for these lows, and then euro New Zealand is going to come for that low as well. Okay, so if this pulls back, anticipate them going to attack this low. So this New York session, that can be a potential trade idea for you. So look forward for the New Zealand pairs, even the Euro pairs, but I prefer the New Zealand pairs because it's heading for a low. This one and then that one, right? So on the H4, price might pull back and then you look for a sell to come and attack this low. At the beginning of the week, I wanted to see them go and take out this high first before going down, because we had on the weekly time frame this candle rejecting the previous week low. So I wanted them to go and attack previous week high first and then go down. But that seems not to be the case for the pound New Zealand for today. Hence, you can start looking forward for a move to the downside. Maybe a fair value gap inside this down candle, and then price will reject and continue going lower, right? Aussie, New Zealand, I think yesterday we spoke about this. That is a nice pullback, and we are going back up again. This low to this high, nice pullback. We are heading for this high. So another potential setup if anyone is interested to go up here. An interesting thing is forming on the euro pound from the weekly perspective. It seems to be reacting off from this last up candle prior to this move down and rejecting previous week low on the H4, creating a new gap, breaking above this last up candle. So where we are now, if you look at it from a daily perspective, we might trade up here. Okay, we might trade up here. Hence, if today closes bullish, this gap would be a very interesting gap, especially where they overshadow each other. That's a balanced price range from this to that. Hence, if price should, or if price can retrace to this level, you can use that for entry and then send it up into that daily fair value gap up there. Okay, this gap here, that's a daily fair value gap. Yeah. And I think pretty much that's about it for these pairs. Okay, New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand CAD, I'm waiting for a close above the previous day's high on a daily basis. That's the only way I'll start looking for potential buy. As it stands, it has not done that, so I'm gonna be patient. Similar to Aussie CAD. Okay, if we get, because yesterday I was preaching about it and then he ended up rejecting. So if we can go and close above the previous day's high, that's the only condition I'm looking for in order to look for a buy. Okay, Let's go and look at gold. So gold, since yesterday, we've really not done much. It failed to close above and rejected, but I still think this, because of the gap on the daily price, is still going to go up. So let's see if we can sustain a close above previous day's high. That will make it easier going long for the day. Until that, it's still not safe to take a long. Just wait for the close above previous day's high, then you can go long. Because if we get a close above previous day's high, we can get a trade to trade up here. Until then, stay put, because on the lower time frame, what it's doing is just up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Once you get a close above previous day's high, then we might see an expansion to the upside. Okay, crude oil. Yesterday I was talking about this. I wanted to see them break, pull back, and go down. It did give the break. It did pull back, but the down did not happen, which I'm still a little bit suspicious about this high. Them going back above it, right? It's a previous day's high. We rejected. It rejected the previous day's high. Hence, this should not be happening. So the fact that we are back above it means something is bound to happen. Something is bound to happen. And let's see on the 1 hour if we can break this down candle. Then again, we can do the same thing that I did yesterday. So we're going to look for a break, a pullback, and then a movement down. Okay, that's what I'll look for on the crude oil. So as it stands, basically that's basically what I'm looking for, because we've reached premium and we had a nice drop. It kind of was suspicious to me, because of how this move to the upside was created. Remember, the pattern for the sell most of the time will be clean, right? I was referring it to the H4, because we had this down, then up, 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 and then down. It made sense on the H4, not on the H1. But now it's actually making sense on the H1 instead. On the H4, it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to be watching based on the previous day's high that is now currently taken. I'll watch it for on the H1 to get a break and then pull back to come and attack this low and potentially these lows. Because since we started the week, price has not traded down below the previous, below the weekly opening price. So that make it more suspicious for price to come and attack that. So watch this New York session. Okay. Yes. So yesterday I had some wonderful time with it. Initially I got stopped out as usual, the first trade, which was here. I was looking for a move. Looking for a buy to trade up there. So on the 5 minutes, yeah, on the 5 minutes, I was buying this down candle. So you can see after they closed above this down candle, I was looking for it to sustain the down candle and trade to that level, and it didn't happen. and it came back down and stopped me out. Now, after it stopped me out, I just sat and wait until it gave me another buy pattern. Now down here, when it gave it, the stop loss, I was watching this level because that was the level that the reversal was happening from. So when I bought the break of structure on the 1 minute chart, okay, so here, that was the breaker. So when it came back there, that's where I was buying. But I did not leave my stop loss below this. I left it rather below the gap on it. And I think it's the M5. Yeah, here. So I left the stop loss below that. Why? Because as long as this gap is open, it can still come back and take out the low, which is something typical that price likes to do. So I decided, I'm not gonna put my stop loss below it, just put it down there. And I was doing something. I was actually having a private session. So I did not see any of this or that move when I realized price has taken my profit, which was very nice to see. So I had a really good trade on the ES yesterday. And today, let's see. I still think we're supposed to be trading to that level. That H4 gap needs to be closed in. So let's see maybe New York session, what price is going to do. Okay. Hence, watch this down candle for this New York session because it took out this low and then rejected. So watch this down candle. When it's 2, when the purple line comes out alive, you're going to be watching these two fair value gaps for price to give you a reaction of it. So what you do is similar to what I did yesterday. When price drops into it, wait for a break of structure on the lower time frame. So you can be on the 5 or on the 1 minute. Then you look for the break of structure. Then you look for the buy here. Okay, so if you drop down to the 5 at exactly 2 my time PM, wherever price will be, if you're here, then just wait for and then you look for the buy. Okay, so that is that for the ES. Let's go over to the crypto market, starting with AI16Z. So AI16Z, I think I said we are likely going to stay above this or even that. That would be very good for a continuation to the upside. So far so good. We've not actually rejected the previous week high yet, so let's see how the week is gonna play out. For those of you that are long, great. We just need a daily closure above previous day's high. Going forward, that's the only way day traders can also get long. If you don't get that, then stay away because you can see it's not closing any direction. We don't close up or we don't close down, so it's not safe for day trading. Solana, my pattern is still there. I want to leave it there for some reason. We want that to happen. So we would like to see a run up, a rejection, and then a continuation to the downside. Bitcoin, same thing. Ethereum, same thing. Hype, a little bit different, which is looking for that to go up here. Looking at how yesterday traded, it's a little bit not likely because the daily has rejected, even though it did not close below previous day's low. So it can still go up there, but it's very, very challenging to trade the way the lower time frame is shaped, because the daily needs to stay closing above previous day's high for us to trade to that gap. With yesterday's candle, not probable, but since we have a down candle here, we are reacting off it. So watch the 1 hour for a break of structure. Say this up candle. If we break that up candle, then definitely you can resume going back up. As long as this up candle is alive, we will come back down again, right? So watch this. Based on the down candle, previous day's low being rejected, we need a break structure on the 1 hour time frame. XRP narrative has not changed, it's still the same, right? Nothing has really changed. So I can't talk much about it, right? Because it hasn't done any of what I'm expecting. That we come here and go up, or they go up. That's all, same thing. But I like the fact that we've left a gap down here. That's the only interesting thing price has done so far, leaving this gap down here. Touch key. And that's what we were expecting, for them to take out this low. Why? Because this whole rejection, and on the daily, this rejection is just a sign price wants to continue going lower. Now, as it stands, this low here is going to be the draw on liquidity. And I think yesterday I talked about when price is moving, why is it moving, right? It's moving because it's seeking to trade to a gap or trading to take out a low. And right now on the daily, there's no gap, there's only a low. So that's what price is gonna go for. They respected a gap here, so look for a continuation to the downside to attack this low here, right? And then once we take it out, we will see what price will give us. But until then, look for a continuation to the downside. Hence, this drop, this gap should stay and then continue going down. And a trade like this possible. Even if we trade and go above it, this one, will reject it, and then you do the same thing. So that's what price is supposed to do. Continue going lower. Okay. So I think this week is a little bit boring, because what we are expecting price to do, it hasn't really done much. It's just been consolidating, which is understandable. That's why, I always warn people, like, just be aware that the first week and the last week of the month, there is going to be some form of manipulation, which will make it a little bit challenging to trade during that week. So when it's the last week of the month, preferably day trading and scalping will be the best option. And I'll talk about a simple example of what I mean by scalping. Like this. Yesterday, exactly at 2 p.m., I got this trade idea here. Simple 2 to 1. Okay, we took our previous candles low, broke structure, pull back, buy, and then 2 to 1. That is the sort of trade idea that you can trade when is the last week of the month or the first week of the month. Just take trades like this and then get out. Because looking for long term, the first week and the last week, it can be a little bit too demanding, because the monthly candle is ending. So it might not expand as much as you might have in your mind for it to do. Hence, you can look in the lower time frame, find a high probability trading idea, scalp or day trade, and then trade it and be done. So this is an example. Okay. All right. So I think today is too boring. There's nothing much going on. Hence, we are going to end here and we'll continue tomorrow. Why? Because there's nothing really to discuss on the chart. When it's interesting, we'll spend time and look at it. When it's not, don't waste too much time on it. And when it's 2 p.m., find something like this. So notice that it happened during the 2 p.m. period. When it's 2 p.m., find a simple run below a low break of structure, get 2 to 1, and then move to the sidelines. Okay, so have a wonderful day. I'll see you all same time tomorrow. Hopefully, there will be some large range candles and we can actually take some trades from there. Enjoy the rest of the day.